Hello everyone, and thank you very much for being part of our evening tonight. Well, we are inside now, so we have to follow the rules. You know, mask on, unfortunately because of COVID, glasses off, because otherwise they will be foggy. So I'm gonna have to go like this. Tonight, we're gonna learn how to make arancine, or the arancina, which is not arancino, it's arancina. The arancina in Sicily is a female, it's not a male. So arancina, together with me. Tonight I have a little bit of audience cooking, and everybody obviously with mask and social distancing. So having said that, I was gonna go, by the way, I just wanna say thank you to Dallas Arboretum to give us the chance to do this in this beautiful place. It's called the Tasteful Place. It's the inside kitchen where I have been cooking for a few times already, and on the other side you have a beautiful view of the garden. As you can see right now, absolutely amazing. Okay, so everybody's here. Is everybody ready to start?
Ready,
cook?
sir.
Yes. All right. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's start making arancine. First thing first, gloves on. That way we don't have to get our hands dirty. You at home can do whatever you want. You don't have to, you have the chance to wash your hands, so it's okay. Here, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wear gloves. So here we go. First thing we do, in the bag you found rice already cooked. This is arborio rice. I like to use the arborio because you see, the little butter and parmigiano gets very sticky, and that's what we're looking for with the arancine. Arborio has that little fat belly, you know, it cooks really well. You cannot make arancine with regular rice. You have to use either arborio, carnaroli, or vianone nano. Arborio is what I like the most. I cook it for about 25 minutes. If you follow the directions that are in the bag, it's the easier way to go with. Boiling water, dump it in there, 20 minutes is done. Otherwise, I'm going to show you how to make it as a risotto. So tonight, as we're waiting for the arancine to, you know, get it nice and compact, I'm gonna show you a risotto recipe that you're gonna love. All right, so everybody ready? Let's go ahead and dump the risotto inside the bowl that you have in front of you. And together with the risotto, we're gonna dump the meat sauce that you have in front of you. Now I have a lovely lady by the name of Barbara. Hi, Barbara. You don't have to dump any meat because I know you don't eat meat, so just keep it nice and clean with the risotto. Your risotto already has parmigiano and butter. So, having said that, you got salt and pepper in front of you. So let's put a little bit of salt, and I'm going to grate a little bit of pepper with my beautiful Castello Banfi pepper shake. And I have to thank always my good friend Christy Evans. Ciao Christy, I love you very much. Thank you for this. So we put some salt and pepper. Risotto, I put very, very light on salt because I like to control the salt. But I do put some saffron because it's part of the arancine. So let's go ahead and start mixing everything together. There you go. Sometimes people ask me, says, but do you put eggs in it? No, I don't use eggs at all. Not even later when I have to bread them. And I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we'll mix the arancine or the risotto with the meat sauce. Okay, make sure the mixture is even. And you pretty much have all the risotto and all the meat sauce together. Okay, now these are the baby ones. We're gonna do baby arancine about 2 inches of diameter. If you do the big ones, you don't need to do this. If you do the big ones, you just make the big bowl, then you poke a hole in the middle, stuff the meat, and close it back up. Okay, but I like these ones because it's more even. You eat a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So arancine. Is everybody with me? Yes. You from home, are you with me? And by the way, you can ask any question you want at any time. All right. So let's start making them.
No Parmesan?
Nope. Just like that. we're gonna make the little balls, all right? Press it really well, about 2 inches each, all right? Can you see it? Yes? So that's the size of the arancine. Very good. You're doing a good job, Kitty. Good. Yes. We're gonna go slow so everybody at home can follow this, because I know as a first time it's not easy to make, all right? But now we take our time.
So could you use something other than meat sauce?
Yeah, you can just do it with Parmigiano and butter. That's it. If you are a vegetarian, or use whatever you might. You can do it with chicken if you want. You can do it with pork if you want. Once you know how it works, it's done. By the way, one thing that I want to tell you is that I prefer cook the rice one day before. That way we give the chance to the gluten to come together and be nice and gluey the day after. Okay? So I see you guys are going faster than me. Oh, mine. Look at that. Woo. I gotta speed it up.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. And I want to see if anybody at home is following this. Yes?
Keep it slow.
Keep it slow. Keep it slow. Keep.
Do I have too many? I was looking at the size.
No. You keep going. You make as many as you want. Once you learn the process, then you can make it a big or small if you like.
It's like a factory over there.
Yeah. Once we cook them, they're gonna open up. No, I'm kidding. Right, Kitty, you're doing great.
I cooked as fast as I
Oh,
could.
you know why? Because you had 2 of risotto. No.
Did I?
I think you had 2. I don't know. All right. Don't worry. I'm going to go slow. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're going to catch up. You're going to catch up. Let's do these balls. Arancina. Mix the risotto and the meat sauce together in a bowl. Mix it really well. So it's all spread around, you see. It's all together. And every time you pick up some risotto, you can pick up the same amount of meat sauce. Okay? The ratio is more or less 2 to 1. So if you do 10-ounce risotto, it's 5 ounces of meat sauce. So once you're gonna have plenty of time to recuperate. We're just gonna do the balls right now, because then I'm gonna show you a little recipe. So, well, these guys are better than me. I mean, you are going really.
You used to be in the kitchen.
Ooh, I'm telling you.
So do they serve arancina as an appetizer or a meal?
Arancina was born as a street food. That's a good question, actually. Arancina was born as a street food. So you eat it basically on the street, or you eat it for lunch, but obviously it has to be the big one. This little one, they were created as a finger food for parties. You got the baby calzone, you got the baby pizzetta, you got the baby arancine, which is this one. So I mean, that's the way arancina was created. You buy it by the tray, and I mean, you make what? What did I make? Like 10, 11, 12 here?
Yeah.
You're able to eat all of them.
Right.
Okay? So.
And I assume they pair perfectly with any poulet wine.
No, they pair unbelievable with poulet wines. Of course, Sicilian food with Sicilian wine. In Italy, we tend to eat our wine with our food. But if you make veal tonné in Sicily, you can drink a Barolo or a Nebbiolo. It's okay. Nobody's going to get offended. All right. So, gloves off. And then we're going to have to put it back on.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is going to do what I call the glue. You guys at home, by the way, keep making them. Give me a second. Thank you. See, I still have a face. Oh, I hope you bought the wine. I'm drinking this wonderful Terre di Chieti Pecorino right now. Nice and zesty with a little bit of the fresh almonds on the finish. Tastes delicious on a hot day. After that, we're gonna taste some Palanghina from Beneventano, Campania. There is somebody over here that He's applauding already. That his family is from Campania. And then we have two reds. We have a Nero d'Avola, of course, one of the 6 noble grapes of Italy, and that's a Puleo from Sicily. And the other one is a Vicentini from up north in Friuli, and it's a fantastic Franconia. It's a grape that's mainly unknown here in the US, but it's amazing. Great flower nose with the depth palate. So, finish with this. Let's go ahead and pick up the bowl with a little bit of water, okay? I'm gonna give you the time at home to get the bowl with some water. I will say about 2 cups of water will work. So go ahead, we'll wait. And with that, you got the flour. So here it is, what we're looking for when we do this. I like to, why do I start with the water and then add the flour instead of starting with the flour and then adding the water? Because it's much easier. See, you can't take the water off, okay? But you can't slow down when you put the flour. It's much easier for me to control the thickness of what I call the glue. See, a lot of people make the mistake of beat the eggs, put the arancine in the eggs, then put the arancine in the breading. No, it's not the eggs actually that makes the glue. It's this, water and flour. That's all it is, which is basically very close to a pastella, which is what we use to deep fry vegetables. But not quite, because it's gonna have to be nice and smooth. Basically, you have to dip your finger inside and you have to coat your finger a little bit. Then you know that it's been done perfectly. So if everybody's with me and everybody's ready with a bowl and about 2 cups of water, I will say let's start mixing the water before you put the flour, and slowly put the flour inside the water. Don't rush it. Just do a little bit at a time. Don't rush it, okay? Because if it comes too thick, we cannot take the flour off. I mean, you could, but you have to be a magician to do that. So, slowly do that until we get the smooth, nice, a little thicker surface on this mix, which is gonna stick to the arancine. All right. See, it's still, when it's still too loose, that means you have to keep going. The amount of flour you have is slightly more than what we really need. Remember that the more you mix, the thicker it gets. So it can be deceiving. If you see it too liquid and you put too much flour, then it's gonna thicken even more. So just look at it. Still a little bit too liquid, a little more. I'm gonna show you the finished product and then I'm gonna wait for you. All right. So let's see how thick it is. Bring it in. No, I think it needs a little more. So sometimes I get asked, can you flavor this to give a different flavor to the arancine? Of course you can. You can put some paprika, maybe Spanish paprika, something a little bit spicy, which is not going to change the thickness of the mixture. But why would you? I mean, why would you change the taste of the arancine? You know? So anyway, we are basically done. This is it. Is everybody with me? Yeah? I got a little bit, I have 1 ounce left over here. Oh, okay, you did good. So, this should be okay now. So this is what I call the glue. The glue for my arancine before the arancine goes into the breading. So, done with the glue. That's it. All right? So now we have a bowl another bowl that has the breadcrumbs. Okay? So what we're gonna do, another gloves here at home, you can do it without. Okay. That way we don't have to get dirty. Gloves on. All right. After this is ready, it's rested. Let's do it one at a time so I can show it to you. If you can come closer to me, please. Put it in there. Get it nice and wet. Dump it in there. Boom. That's it. Okay? There's no secret. Very easy. Put it in there. Get it nice and wet. Dump it in the breading. Boom. Done. So we keep going with the other ones. Nobody's asking me questions. I guess everybody's with me.
Well, just keep putting them in there, right? I mean,
What's that?
just keep putting them in there, right?
Yeah. Just keep putting them in there. We don't have to go fast. Don't. There's no rush. You know, as long as everybody.
What did you use for breadcrumbs?
Just breadcrumbs. That's
Just
it.
the
Just
whole
yeah,
loaf
bread.
or-
Toasted bread, and then with mix it. There you go.
Chef, we have a question.
Yes.
Could you explain again what the consistency of the flour and the water should be?
Yes. It has to be a smooth mixture. Okay. You have to be able to put your finger inside, and your finger is supposed to be coated. Okay. That means that the mixture is fine. All right. Mine is a little bit looser than what I just said, but it still works great.
Daniele, can you tell me about all the different arancini that's in Sicily?
Yeah, there's restaurants that have all different type of arancine. They've, now they're trying to do even gluten-free. I mean, they're trying to do vegetarian, vegans. They're trying to do everything, you know, to satisfy all the clientele. Unfortunately, there is more demands for all this stuff. So we have to get creative sometimes. Okay, is everybody with me? All right. Very good, guys. Very good. Once again, usually we cook out of my house. Today we're cooking out of the Dallas Arboretum. It's been very nice to do this job together in this beautiful place.
Okay, we have another question.
Yes.
Could you explain how you figure out the ratio of water to flour? How you add the flour to it?
It's just, you know, basically, I've been doing it so many times that at this point, the 2 cups of water and the flour, just mix it really well. You know, it's been something that I've been doing so many times. So I mean, I don't know if that answered the question or not.
You just slowly add the flour in until it gets to the consistency?
Slowly add the flour until you get to the right consistency. The mixture has to be thick, not too thick. So my rule of thumb is dip the finger inside, and the finger is supposed to be coated. Okay. I'm done. Is everybody else done? All right. So once we're done, we're gonna get these babies. We're gonna leave them here, okay? So we're gonna wait for everybody to get to this point. In the meantime, I'm going to show you a little recipe with a risotto recipe. So I will start my fire. Will I? It starts. Done. Okay. Fire on. So.
Cheers.
Let's have a coffee break. I think I need it. All right. Fire on. Boom, boom. So let's start cooking here. I'm gonna make a risotto. Now follow this. If you follow the directions that I gave you to make the risotto for the arancine, it's better. But if you wanna use this recipe, whatever I'm gonna do for this risotto, obviously you don't have to do it with the ingredients, okay? You just have to leave it alone. So forget about the ingredients, just follow the directions of the risotto. Make believe that the leeks and the zucchini is not there because this is a particular risotto. So we're gonna start with a little butter. Maybe I would say a tablespoon. Yes. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
Why butter and olive oil?
There you go. Why butter and olive oil? That's a good question. Okay. Well, I like to do this because they complement each other. Basically, the butter is slow on the cooking, and the olive oil or the oil is faster, so they can control each other. Okay. So that's why I do this, and that's actually a very good piece of information. I'm sorry, I'm trying to, there you go. When you start the risotto, you want to start with low heat, okay? And then we can pump it up. So, even we did that, I'm going to cut my leeks. Okay, Barbara, you need to follow this. I'm gonna cut the leeks. This risotto is with leeks and zucchini, fresh mint, mascarpone cheese. Yeah. And put my leeks in there. Okay. Oh, look at that. We're cooking now. So while my leeks are going, zucchini.
Here, it doesn't impact like butter.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. 2 ways of cutting. We don't need the center, so we just cut the outside. Okay. Or we can do it this way. Just laying it down and just move the zucchini around. Completely up to you. All right. So we don't want pieces to be too small. So I'm gonna leave them like this since we have time. The risotto will take about 20 minutes to cook. And as I do it, I'll dump them in there. There we go. What's that, sir? Yes, well, we do arancine when we are fully open. We usually have arancine in the chef case. Now we're probably gonna do it on request because a lot of people ask us for it, and we are able to do it on the case. So, can I get the OCC? So, there we go. Now I'm gonna have this going. Beautiful. This is gonna be going for a little bit. I wanna melt this butter on the fork. There you go. This is a good pan actually to make risotto. Here I got my, ooh, I'm gonna have to add some more. What I call my OCC. Always use vegetable stock. I'm very respectful to vegetarians, so I don't want to use beef stock and I don't want to use chicken stock. So I use vegetable stock. My OCC is obviously onion, carrots, and celery. And I also put a leaf of bay leaf. By the way, bay leaf is something that I use a lot, even when I make pasta. In the water, I put a bay leaf because sometimes the water has an aftertaste. So the bay leaf, we actually remove that aftertaste. So I'm gonna put this over here, which I'm gonna use for my risotto for a little bit at a time. This seems like it's going pretty well. So what I do is I raise the fire a little bit. Boom. And my risotto. There we go. Now, huh? This is a bonus demonstration, yes. This is totally bonus. So my arborio went in. So what I'm gonna wait for is for my arborio to talk to me. Okay, how is it gonna talk to me when it starts toasting? Okay, I gotta hear that toasting. Yes, he has to become a little bit translucent, but he has to show the belly, the soul, in between, in the middle. So the side has to be translucent, the soul has to show. The arborio, I like it. It's got that little belly, you know, it looks like a small Italian, you know, with it looks like a wine barrel with legs and arms and a head, you know, those cute little Italians. That's why I like the arborio, because it reminds me of this, you know, these Italians that drink a lot of wine during the day. All right, so the risotto is not talking to me yet. So we're gonna leave it in there for a few more seconds. I am sure you noticed I haven't used any salt or pepper right now. I'm not gonna use salt for the time being when the zucchini was sauteing, because if I add the salt, the zucchini are gonna start spitting the water, and then basically I'm gonna have boiled zucchini. That's not what I want. I want the zucchini to cook and to get firm, right?
About how much arborio rice did you use?
10 ounces.
10 ounces?
Yes. 10 ounces of arborio rice. All right. Here we go. Now it's starting, so I can hear it talking now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. Please use fresh ground pepper. Is it fresh ground pepper or ground fresh pepper? Fresh ground. All right. Use fresh ground pepper. Miss Pat, thank you very much. All right. Now it's really talking to me. So at this point, I'm gonna put a little bit of salt. Not too much, because I got a little bit of salt in here, but a couple of teaspoons of salt. So this is going. Make sure the vegetable stock is nice and hot. You don't want vegetable stock cold, because if you put it in here cold, it's gonna lower the temperature and it's gonna slow down the cooking process of the risotto. So you don't want to do that for sure. All right.
Sit on low the whole time?
No, now I raise it. Before I put the risotto in, I raise to maximum. And now, after that, you're in control. So you have to make sure that nothing burns. You gotta pay attention also at the smell of it. So once in a while. Okay.
It looks like you're always stirring. You can't.
Yeah, I'm over stirring, but I don't see any more fire. So maybe, only maybe, my thing is done. It's time to replace it. That's the beauty of cooking live. Thank you, sir. Done. Gorgeous. Now with this one, I can finish it. Okay. So it's really, really toasting right now. So at this point, I'm gonna start pouring a little bit. You think? Can you give me a little water? I need more water, please. All right. This is okay. Okay. In the meantime, the arancine are resting. All right. This is going really well. I have a pair of gloves. Thank you very much. Okay, put this on medium. Lower on medium. Now I have to control it. So now medium. Thank you very much. So what I'm gonna do at this point is for you people who bought the scapace, I'm gonna show you my scapace. Sorry. And then we're gonna have Chef Ryan showing his salad. So anyway, scapace. You got this? Don't worry, I keep an eye on the stuff here. I don't wanna. I gotta make sure these people eat. Otherwise, they're gonna. All right. I gotta keep it always wet and moist. Yes? Beautiful. Looking good so far. So the scapace, you can have it two ways: fried or grilled. The original recipe, the scapace is fried, okay? But if you don't like fried food, you can grill it. So you get this, and in your thing, you got the garlic and mint. Let's get the garlic and crush it. So I'll show you how to do the dressing. Now, if you're not ready to eat, you can wait on this, but the dressing has to be made so the flavors can come around, right? So let's take this out. Boom. And slice it, chop it, however you want. That's all we need. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. I don't know what I put. Sorry. All right.
Is it
Garlic in. White vinegar. Extra virgin olive oil. Get your mint and break it inside. Don't use a knife, otherwise you're gonna burn it and it's gonna get dark. With your hands, okay? A little bit of salt, not too much. A little bit of pepper. Mix it. So this is the little dressing for the scapace. So what you want to do at this point, well, maybe you don't want to do it now. You want to wait. You know, this needs to sit for about 15-20 minutes, but I'm going to show you anyway. So I like to put some in the middle. So we're going to season the plate a little bit, not too much, just a little. And then we're going to assemble this. Woo, woo. Wait a minute. Don't go anywhere. All right. Risotto al salto. Perfetto. And then I like to assemble it.
We have a few questions.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know if you crush or dice the garlic.
You can do either way. You can crush it, you can dice it, you can slice it, you can do whatever you want. You can chop it, however you want.
And then someone else wanted to know if it's okay to dispose of the flour water mixture and the breadcrumbs now.
Yeah, you can dispose it. Yeah. Once we coated all the arancine with the breadcrumbs, you can dispose it. Okay. So that's the way I like to do the scapace. Then I pick it up.
What does scapace mean?
Scapace is a name that comes from the Spanish word escapace, which means to dip. You know, because the way it was created is the Jews, they're supposed to dip the bread or the Spanish bruschetta. Okay? It's got to have plenty of liquid. And that's it. That's the scapace. If you want, well, you don't have to do that, but if you have guests at home and you wanna look cool, you just put some fresh mint over there.
Oh, so much better.
And that's it. And that's the scapace. So you all have forks. So maybe you can get a piece and pass it around so you can all taste it. It's a cold appetizer or side dish, more than appetizer. Of course, if you like my wife, you eat caprese in the morning. I mean, she loves zucchini. Zucchini, yes, and she likes the one with the eggplant. Absolutely. Okay. I am about to be halfway through, or maybe more than halfway. So after this, as soon as it dries up a little, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dump some white wine. All right. And I let it go for a while. Oh God, this is really good. Okay. In the meantime, maybe Chef Fryer can turn on the fryer. I mean the pot with a little bit of oil. So we're getting ready to fry our arancine. So get the pot about 8 inches, 6 inches, whatever you got. As long as it's deep, about 4 to 6 inches deep. Put about 2, maybe 2.5 cups of frying oil. I don't suggest to use canola. I always said that it's no good. You can use vegetable oil. You can use sunflower oil. You can use corn oil. Just don't use canola, please. Yeah. So, in Italy, there is this thing of risotto al salto. I mean, there's these guys that are able to flip the risotto 6 feet high, you know, and yes, and make it fall inside of it. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how they do it, but I sure would like to learn.
You should try.
Coffee break. Speak among yourself. Oh. What to do? So.
Oh, we do have a few questions.
Yes.
Someone says, can you use grapeseed or olive oil?
No. Olive oil you can. Just make sure you don't heat it up too much. It doesn't have to heat meet the smoking point. If the oil starts smoking, it's done. You have to dump it. You have to use other fresh oil.
And then someone said they missed the beginning of the zucchini dish. How do they use the vinegar?
No vinegar in the zucchini. In the zucchini. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You mean caprese. Okay, so I thought we were talking about the risotto. So zucchini, the vinegar and the extra virgin olive oil, mix them together. Okay, don't whisk it. It doesn't have to be whisked. If you whisk, it's gonna get thick, and we don't need that. So put the garlic, diced, chopped, however you want it, crushed. It doesn't matter. Put the fresh mint leaves and just move it and mix it all together for a few minutes. That's all you have to do. A little salt and a little pepper. End of story.
And it was white vinegar, right?
Yes.
Daniele, for high heat, what kind of oil do you prefer?
Sunflower.
Sunflower? Okay.
Absolutely. Sunflower is the best oil for high heat.
So I need to tell my husband to stop buying avocado oil.
I don't like grapeseed oil and avocado oil. I was talking to Ryan one day. They say good things about it, but it's actually not proven that because there is mixed feelings.
It's all preference.
There is mixed feelings about how well it works. So I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical unless something is really proven in the kitchen. I'm skeptical. Some people say one thing, other people say another. So all right. So we're gonna make sure that the risotto is always wet. I hope you're following this because this is really good. We are almost at the end of it, and these lucky people over here, they're gonna taste it. Okay. As soon as I have the chance to taste for salt and pepper, I will. Something tells me that I'm gonna need a little bit more salt. Not too much. A little bit more pepper because this is Texas. Oh. Okay. Still here, cooking from the Dallas Arboretum, magical place.
Someone
Beautiful
asked,
kitchen. Yes.
someone asked, can you use a vegetable and canola oil mixture for frying?
No, I don't recommend canola. I mean, it's not an oil that I recommend. Okay. Usually, when they talk about blended oil, they talk about extra virgin olive oil. That is actually not really an extra virgin because you will not blend extra virgin olive oil with canola oil. So when I go out, and I always ask if the oil they're frying is canola, otherwise I will not order. Boom. So, creaminess. I don't use cream for risotto. If you want creaminess in the risotto, use a cheese, okay? Like, for instance, I found some of the mascarpone cheese, which I'm gonna use. So, you can use Robiola, you can use a soft cheese for risotto. And that is what's gonna give me the creaminess. Okay, don't use cream, heavy cream, or any type of cream for risotto because it doesn't need it.
What about goat cheese?
You can use goat cheese, absolutely. Yeah. Did my wife tell you that?
Yeah.
Yes, she's got a love and passion for goat cheese. So with that, I'm gonna use some of my fresh mint leaves, which are gonna give lots of freshness, especially when we are cooking in a place like this.
And then how high of heat do you do the oil that's frying in the back?
That one until is about 300 degrees. So if you have a measuring, you have a way of measuring your oil. Once you get to 300, you should be okay. We don't want the arancine to cook too fast because the heat has to go all the way inside.
Could you bake it or air fry it?
No, you cannot bake it, otherwise they're gonna break. So the arancine have to get that, they're gonna get the heat right away, and so they get compact. Remember, we're talking about risotto. So, all right, this is almost done. So what do I like to do at the end is, we can shut this off. Okay. Wow, I should do it. So I put a little bit of butter, just a dash, not too much. Okay? If you don't like butter, you're crazy. So, and a little bit of fresh grated Parmigiano. If you have a 24 months, use 24 months. If you have a 12 months, use 12 months. It doesn't matter, whatever you like. All right, and that's it. So, at this point, I usually cover it for a couple of minutes. Okay? I will not cover it right now, but I just let it rest for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I just want to know if everybody is with me. Is everybody ready? Yes?
Yes. If we missed some of this, can we find it on the CiboDivino YouTube channel?
Yes, absolutely. It's on the YouTube channel. Everything is on the YouTube channel. So you can find it. I have here one lemon. You know what I'm going to do with this lemon? I'm going to grate the zest on it. You know what? It's here, so I use it. That's it. Now, it's really nice and fresh. Okay. Ooh, yes. Very good. So I'm gonna have these people tasting it, And by the way, I'm gonna say it one more time. If you're not ready to eat, you can fry your arancini on your own. I'm just gonna show you what they're gonna look like. You don't have to do it right now. You can do it in half an hour, in an hour, it doesn't matter. But I'm just gonna show you what they're gonna look like. So, if somebody wants to pass this along, thank you very much. So, this, yes, yes. So, as I'm frying, we're gonna have Chef Ryan showing you the salad with the watermelon, and I will see you in about 10 minutes with the final product and what the arancine is supposed to look like. So Ryan, you can take it from here.
Don't worry, I'll be right back. We have plenty more time.
Okay, so let me, as he's taking his position, you gotta go. Okay, you got it. Then follow Ryan.
All right. I hope you all enjoyed that, and we'll get back to the kitchen with Daniele soon. You have to bear a few minutes with me first. So here we are in the Tasteful Place here at the Dallas Arboretum. What a wonderful place. We can demask now, right? No, guess not.
Are these watermelons from the Almas farm?
These are. So, let everybody get out here and kind of assemble a little station here for everybody.
Great.
Oh, good. I was like, am I the only one who brought my wine out?
So, once again, we are at the Dallas Arboretum. We're at Tasteful Place here, the wonderful gardens here at the Dallas Arboretum. Being a chef and being with CiboDivino, we know that ingredients are very important. And as Daniele always said, that the better the ingredient, the better the dish. It doesn't matter how many ingredients you have to put in a dish, you just use quality. You can have 2 ingredients in a dish and it'll be spectacular if you have spectacular ingredients. That being said, because we're such a farm-to-table type of atmosphere and what we love, I actually farm at my property as well. So my farm is called Almost Famous Organics. We farm everything organically. We're not certified, but we do everything in the organic practice as much as we can. I use natural water. We use anything natural that we can as far as soil cultivation over the years. And I want to give a big thank you and also a shout out to Tim at Sunny Farms. We work together, and he's also a natural organic farmer, and we kind of try to bring things together. So here at the Tasteful Place, I know there's okra growing over here on my left. That's one thing in the summertime that doesn't matter if you have a green thumb or not, okra is one thing that anybody can grow. Okra will grow no matter what.
We'll hold you to that.
It is. The one thing about okra is once you plant it, you better start eating it because it will never die and it'll keep producing. One thing that Tim did share with me that certain varieties of okra, which we have here a Carmina blend, which is a purple okra that we did. Certain okra, from when the flower drops, you have only 7 to 10 days before it gets woody or too fibrous to eat. So that's one thing. Different okra, depending on the variety, you'll have a little more time. And I was always under the understanding that it was the length. Once it got too long, then it's too woody and you can't eat it. And I went to harvest the other day for a second harvest and had okra about 3 inches long and they were completely woody, couldn't eat them. So I called Tim, I was like, what happened? And he just said, it's only 7 days for this variety. So, even if you're a seasoned farmer like myself or anybody else, there's always something to learn. So what we have here is a watermelon salad, and this is, towards the end of summer, nice, it's hot outside. So this is a fresh salad. It can be used as an appetizer. We grew these. We have 2 different varieties at our farm right now. We have a Shurus, which is a golden flesh, and then this one is called a sorbet. This is a red flesh, seedless. So what we're going to do here is everybody has their own little slice there. I'm just going to take one slice out of here, and we're going to kind of show you exactly what happens. Now, I'm going to take one slice here, and if you have a knife that's not as sharp, you can always use the heel of it to kind of start it and then come through. I'm just going to take one slice, set it aside, and we're going to put it away, okay? Now, this one has some seeds, so I'm going to remove as many of the seeds as I can, just for the meantime, just so I don't, have them on my dish. You can have them. If you have a seeded variety, don't worry about it. Leave them in there. Even seedless varieties, even if they say seedless, they still can have seeds. So just because it says seedless doesn't mean that it's never going to have seeds. Something to think about. So what we're going to do first is I am going to get rid of all the rind. So from the skin to the rind on the inside, I'm going to take off all the white and just leave the red flesh, okay? So depending on where you cut it, just remember to cut it all the way through, because the other side, the way it comes around, you're just going to get it all the red off, okay? I mean all the white and the green off. And this is going to be my salad, so I'm going to put this away. Now I like to do things on these to do kind of very straight shapes, just because I like presentation. Daniele always gets on me, tells me I like the food because I like presentation. So this is one thing that we'll get to do together to make, you know, an ordinary salad look good. I also truly believe that if your dish looks pretty, you're also tricking the thinking it's going to taste good too. So it's a mental game too. So your food can look pretty at home and taste even better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in just probably about 1 inch squares, okay? And you can use all of it. You don't have to use all of it. Use it all. I'm going to set that aside. Now, we grew the okra and the watermelon, and like I say, we had so much okra this season. We only planted about 75 feet, and out of that 75 feet, every harvest, every 3 to 4 days, is close to 20 to 30 pounds. So it's a lot of okra. And since we don't waste, the big thing to do if you don't want to waste is canning and pickling. So if everybody has their grandmother's pickle recipe or a Google pickle recipe, if you like a strong pickle, I use 1 to 1. 1 part vinegar to 1 part water. If you want it a little softer, you can go as high as 1 part vinegar to 2 parts water. So if you use 1 cup of vinegar, 2 cups of water. So I put that in the pot.
What's your vinegar you prefer to use?
So it depends. It's a very good question. It depends on what you're doing. So since I did purple okra, and the purple also emits its color when you cook it, I used a red wine vinegar for this. If I wanted something if it had something that was white or green and wanted to preserve the color, I would use a white wine vinegar or an apple cider vinegar or anything that's colorless, you know, so you don't want to add too much color with your vinegar.
I see.
Now you can do refrigerator vinegar pickling, or you can do shelf stable. The only difference is that when you do shelf stable pickling, just make sure you sanitize your jar. And in our climate, all you need to do is boil your jar for about 15 minutes. Boil your jars and lids. It sanitizes the jar. Once you boil them and take them out, don't touch the inside. Okay? And a lot of people will boil their vegetables first, put them in. For me, a simple way to do it is I get my jar once it's sanitized, put every ingredient that I have in there, and in this case I put okra, I put some sweet pepper slivers, and then 1 sliver of jalapeno, and then a couple of pieces of onion, and put that in the jar. And then I boiled the brine, or the vinegar, the pickling. I boiled that. It was white wine vinegar, or sorry, I put since I did so much, I did 1 cup of the white wine, 1 cup of the red wine, and then my water for a little stronger than 1 to 1 ratio. I added some juniper berries, a little bit of clove, a little bit of mustard seed, and then a bay leaf. And that kind of gave it a little bit of aromatics. Once I boil that, on this one, I added, because I have the peppers and the hot, I love hot and sweet. So I added a cup of sugar. So I put a little bit of sugar to the pickling. Once it's boiling and very hot, I pour that boiling liquid right into the jar, raise it up to about 1 inch, 1.5 inches before the lid. Put the lid on, close it, but don't close it all the way, not too tight, and then put the jar into the boiling water again, and I boil that for another 15 to 20 minutes. You want to get the jar and the internal temperature to, you know, over 145, 155 degrees, and you want to maintain that for at least 15 minutes. What that's going to do is going to help soften up the vegetables. It's going to help the pickle saturate into the vegetables as well. And then as you remove it, you leave it on the counter, and you'll let it sit at room temperature. The jar, once you let it sit at room temperature, you can tighten it up, or when it gets to where you can actually handle the jar, you can tighten the lid fully and then let it sit, and it will naturally create a vacuum. As it cools down, it will suck the lid down and create the vacuum, and those are shelf stable.
How long?
You can get shelf stable for a year, 18 months or longer. as long as your pH, you know, is acidic and it's under 6.5, about 6.5 to 6.8, as long as you're at that acidity level and that pH, you're fine shelf stable. So tomato sauce is very acidic, so as long as you have the pH there, you're fine. And you just want to make sure you test that for shelf stable. If it's not, if it's a little alkaline, or even if it's a little above 7 on the pH scale, you can throw them in the refrigerator. You can still have them for a few months. So it's not, they're not bad. If you want them faster, you put things in the refrigerator all the time. Okay, so what I did here is I had so much okra also that I seeded a lot of the okra, and then I went ahead and took the seeds and I boiled those seeds in the brine. And it took about 20 minutes to soften them up. So in my little mixture here, you'll see okra, some of the sweet peppers, and a lot of the seeds. And the seeds are still edible. So as long as they're softened up, you can still eat them. And they give a little bit of different texture. So what we're going to do here is just kind of create a little presentation. And this can be done with anything, you know. So I like things that look pretty and have a little bit of difference to them. So I'm just going to kind of put some lettuce down on my platter. It's kind of right down the center. Okay, and I'm just going to put just a few of the leaves. Now there's not a whole lot of lettuce with these, so this is not a lettuce salad. This is actually a watermelon salad. So I have the leaves right in the center. Okay. Oh, Daniele's back with some arancine.
Hey, instead of coming to me, I come to you.
There you go.
Arancine ready. Let's finish this. Come on, go ahead.
All right. So now here's for the fufu part.
Yeah, the
Daniele
frou-frou.
loves.
Oh, he's a magician for frou-frou food. Let me tell you.
Okay, so now that the lettuce is on the plate, I'm just gonna take my watermelon.
Did you tell him where the watermelon comes from?
Yes.
And by the way, I have to tell you, this is one of the sweetest watermelon I've ever. I mean, I had a bite. I got the bababing over there, the diabetes or something.
So you can put these in a line. You can put them however you'd like them, but that's just kind of, you know, nice and simple. You don't have to use it all, or you could put it in a bowl, however you'd like.
Take it easy, sister.
So now I'm going to take the pickled okra, and the pickled okra is a lot mainly for the acidity. So you can see there's some of the vinegar still in there, so there's the acidity in there. That's going to give some of the flavor. Then what I'm also going to add is a little bit of feta. Now watermelon and feta is one of those things in the summer. Even if you want to go, if you have your grill on, slice a watermelon, throw the watermelon on the grill. Grill it, cut it up, throw some feta on it. Grilled watermelon feta salad. Pretty simple, pretty easy.
Yeah.
So this is just going to go right on top. Okay.
Another one.
Ryan, you might want to mention we're probably going to go over, so
Oh,
then
yes.
we'll log back in.
Yes, we did have the resident Italian on first, so time limit did go over. I apologize, but hey, bonus material, you have to pay for it. It's free. Sorry. All right, here we go. And then now a little garnish. Now I want a little crunch because it's all about texture also. So we have some, you know, salt in there, and I have some crushed pistachio. Crushed pistachio is going to go right on top. You know, just a nice little sprinkle. There you go.
The best thing she's ever made.
Then, and then I have a spoon here. Now this doesn't need it. So the pickling and everything, if you want it fresh, it can be, you know, just the way it is. Just the feta, the watermelon, the pickled okra, great flavors. If you want, we added a little bit of red wine vinaigrette. And what I do is just get this little spoon, and we'll just drizzle that just right over the top. Just a little bit. And there's plenty of acidity in the okra, but since there's very little, just pour it right over the top, and there you have it. You have a watermelon feta pistachio salad with Almost Famous okra and Almost Famous Organics watermelon.
Can we break some arancine on top? No?
Whatever you like.
Looks good.
Maybe pass the arancine around, too.
All right. Hey,
Enjoy.
thank you very much for joining us. This has been fun, as usual, as always. Thank you all for participating, you guys. If you want to participate on the show, just let us know, and we'll do our best. The arancine are ready. About 3-4 minutes to cook. They're gonna look like this. We're gonna pass them around. Okay. All yours are in there, by the way. And yours too. And yours too. So you guys enjoy it. Salad, chef? Yes?
Absolutely, go for it.
Beautiful.
Very cooking.
And come visit the Dallas
It's
Arboretum.
boom! fresh. And this is what we mean when we say CiboDivino, traditional Italian meets Napa Valley. Boom, done. We grow.
There you go.
Oh.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for joining us.
Dallas Arboretum.
Dallas Arboretum, thank you for for hosting us. We hope we do it again, and we have the chance to do it again. Hopefully without this, you know, otherwise you can't see the good looks. So thank you all very much.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Stay safe.
Grazie.
See you.
Ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. We love you. Ciao.
Okay.